I'll do something fairly easy this time. That was a little bit complicated. You can download the plans for that off my website. Only costs £3. But
does that include the Coca-Cola as well? Yeah.
Pardon?
Does that include the Coca-Cola as well?
No, definitely not. So this is a screw chuck that I make to do apples. So this is a. Can you see that face on there?
Yeah. You switch the light off.
Can you see that now? Yeah. Right. Every now and again you get a face. This is spotted timber. I call this particular apple Les Thorn. You can tell it's Les because his mouth is bigger than his head. You see that?
He's a friend. He's a friend, yeah?
Oh yeah, we talk nearly every day. He's probably took the mickey out of me a few times. So that's basically the shape I like. Now, it's a certain length, because you buy timber, either 12 inches or 20. So it's normally 12, 3 by 3. Okay? So I cut that exactly 2 3/8. And if I cut it at 2 3/8, I get 5 apples out of one piece of wood, which makes a big difference. And my pears, which Les reckons they're more like a light bulb, I cut it 3 inches and I get 4 apples out of 12 inches, 4 pears out of 12 inches. So when you buy timber like I do, like the Coca-Cola, is for 12 inches is about 100 quid. And they're the ones I sell for like £60 a go. So you've got to be careful. Now this bit of wood here, okay, it's a bit small actually, but that was still standing 3 months ago, and the moisture in that is about 10%. And what I do, I cut it to length when it's wet, I wrap it in newspaper, I put it in a box, and I put it in the airing cupboard for about 2 months. I have to put it right at the very back because my wife doesn't realise I'm putting boxes of apples in the back of the airing cupboard. And within two months, it's down to about 9%.
You don't see the...
No, just put it in newspaper. Yeah, and then it dries out. If I don't put something on the end, it will crack it. But by just putting it in newspaper, in a box, cardboard box, put it in the airing cupboard, leave it for 2 months. 2 months. It's dry enough for me to turn. Okay?
What is that?
Acacia. Okay. Now that hole doesn't go all the way through. It doesn't even go halfway. Now this is a self-tapping screw. Okay? So when I'm making apples, I tend to make 100 at a time. And an apple will take me 3 minutes to turn. But you can only do that if you're making a lot of them. If you try to do one at a time, you know, I would lose money making one at a time. So I tend to do 100 at a time. So.
Not 50. Not 50.
No, 100. Production turning is all about doing volume, because the more they do, the more you earn, obviously. But if I do 50, that's a day's work. 100 in a day, sorry. So I do 30 an hour. No, I don't, 20 an hour, 3 minutes each. Right, this is a bit undersized. Normally, I would turn it so it's about out of 3 inches, 70 mil, 2 3/4 roughly. Okay? There's a bit of bark on here, it may come off. But like I say before, I always stand to one side and I wear a respirator anyway, so it's not a problem. Now make sure it's not going to hit the tool rest. And of course I've got a little killing gun, which is a motor that with a bar I can kind of pull it forward and it stops the lathe and then push it forward. So I never have to stop the lathe, which will take time. Bit of a knot just there, so I've got to be a bit more careful. So that's going to go under that side, so we'll have to adjust the length a little bit. Still got that off. Yeah, still a bit of bark on there. So it's going to be smaller than I like. It's very important to get the diameter to the length as well. There's a little bit there, but I'm going to have to leave that bit. So I turn it to a cylinder like that, and then this is a 8mm Continental. Okay, it's basically the same as a roughing out. So it's half a circle going into the handle. So it's no good for faceplate work, but because it can bend a little bit, so you've got to be careful. So the high point isn't quite in the middle; it's to one side, roughly there. So hold the tool on top, and then we'll do this is the top of the apple. Okay, so that's the top, this is the bottom. So I'm going to shorten this a little bit. Okay, so let's have a little bit. And even though there's only one size, I'd still use that copy finger to get it to the right diameter. Alright, so we bring that round to the face, and then do a little mark on here, on the centre. And then use like a file It's got a little hand wheel to find. Let's have a second. We rest it on top of there, find that centre, go in square. If it runs out a little bit, it's not the end of the world, if it has. You don't want the two holes meeting up. And then I'm going to use quarter spindle, nearer, low. Back in the hole, like that. You go deep enough. You're going to put a clove in there. If you do a craft fair, people see the clove in there, they seem to want to pick it out with their finger. So I have to go in a bit deeper since I can't do that. Right, so that's really the same anymore. So when I'm at home, my dust extractor is here. Sits about there. So because I'm standing at the back, it's coming straight towards me. But if you've got a dust extractor that sits there, it goes straight into the dust extractor. So I don't get covered in dust. You see it's going all over the place here. Keep it moving the sandpaper, don't get it too hot on the end grain. And this is 400. Right. Okay, so I'm going to put some polish on there. Normally I would spray these. It's quicker for me to spray something than it is to use friction polish. But I'm going to do this one so you can see what it looks like. The timbers that sell the best are Sported Timbers, Banksia Nuts, Purple Heart, Baduke, Yew, Laburnum, and then the more exotic ones are Brazilian tulip wood, African blackwood, all kinds of timbers like that. And I would normally put this on, I keep a brush inside here. Doing it this way, half of it goes into the paper towel. I'm only doing half of it at this stage. We'll put that in. Okay. Now this is remover wax, which I would normally put this on the mop. Don't press too hard with the glue because it will mark the timber. And then, this bit is really important. Okay, so that comes off of there. Like that. Yeah? Can you focus into this? You see what it is? It's Les Ford's business card. It's all it's good for. Put it on there like that, and then put the apple back on, because otherwise wood against wood will mark it. Like that, okay? Now I know the drill will run out a little bit. See how far it's out? But I don't have to worry about that because I'm only going to turn it from there to there. So although this is out of centre when I drilled it, it really doesn't make any difference. So what you mustn't do is go back and turn this diameter again. So I'm only turning it from there to there. You see how much it's out? On the fraction. So I'm going to go back on the bit I've just turned. Okay, go into the hole. Right, so then, once we've done that, we've got to re-sand it. This is why I'd rather spray this, because I have to sand some of the part where we put some polish on, so it will clog up the sandpaper, obviously. So normally I would just sand them and then spray them afterwards. Sorry? Yeah, I put sand and seal on first, spray it all over, and then the gloss on top. Right. So I'm a bit deaf in one ear, I've got tinnitus. I went to the doctors and I said, I've got this funny buzzing in my ear. Is there anything you can do about it? He said, well, I've got the same. So he said, you just get used to it. I thought, oh, that's great, good advice. But I got so used to it, I don't notice it until I just said about it. You know, it's buzzing a bit more. Right. Okay. You can see how much time it takes doing it this way. When if I sprayed it, it would be done in seconds. Right.
Many coats of black over.
Sorry?
Many coats of black over.
Only two. I put one sand and sealer, one gloss on top. It all depends on what timber it is. If it's sporting timbers, then you need maybe 3 or 4 coats because it sinks in pretty quick. But this stuff, I've only put. You probably didn't realise I've actually put 2 coats because I do the first one and this is still wet, so I put another coat on. So, I'll remove the wax. When I do the buffing on the ones that are sprayed, you have to turn the lathe right down to about 1,000, otherwise it will cut through the lacquer. And I will use a compound, a cutting compound. So that should come out off there now. Okay, that's good. There we are. So these in this little pot, cloves. So the clove will go in the bottom to disguise the hole. We just push that in. Okay. Oh, I broke it. Right. Have to drill that out. One of the jobs I sit in front of the TV, buy a whole load of cloves and sit there taking out the seed, take the seed out the centre. Takes forever. I got my wife to do it, she broke it because it's 4 little kind of bits on there. And she ruined the whole lot, whole tin. So I had to sack her. Right, so what I do with that, that's not a very good one either. Let's see if we've got a better one. And my wife is half Irish. Her mother come from Southern Ireland. So I'm back in Ireland in August, see a lot of my wife's relations in Belfast, Ballymena. Right, so what I would do with that is drop a little bit of super glue on there and then a bit of Type 1-2 to go into there. So that's the reason you don't have the hole going all the way through, is because, you know, I've laid 100 on the table and I drop the super glue on there, let it dry. But if the hole goes all the way through, it glues it to the table. So, and these twigs, These are just twigs which I stain black. So, and I've got a jar. I probably cut enough for about 500 at a time. And then I fill this jar up and I put some ebonising stain in there, and over the course of a few days keep moving it, and then after about three or 4 days then I'll put some sandy sealer and keep moving it, and then I lay it all out on the table, and they're all ready for me to put together. But even now, just handling it, it's lost its gloss a little bit. But there we are, one apple. And these will sell for £20. If you look at my Etsy account, the cheapest apples are 20, going up and up and up.
Okay, the food is ready outside. First thing you come across is water. Okay, take a bottle of still start, and the still is green bottle. Sorry, the still is the blue bottle, and the start is green.